What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BAMGPG. I'll be your host, Bryson.
And I'll be your co-host, Ben.
And today we're going to talk about some of the best centers in the NFL draft. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and go check out our TikTok, BAMGPG.
Yeah, so we'll get into it here in a second here, Bryson. So for this one, we're going to take a look at centers, but I also grouped in the guards to this position as well.
Yeah.
Just to give us more of a broad look at this kind of interior offensive lineman, right? So again, Bryson and I, big Packer fans, so we're going to, kind of look for positions of need for Green Bay. And, we'll eventually, we'll kind of spread out, cover every position, kind of the top players in the draft at every position. But for now, we're knocking out the list of some of the needs for the Green Bay Packers. These may also be fits if you're a fan of another team. These may be positions of need for you, may also be fits for you, for your team as well. So we're going to take a look at them. Again, we grouped in the guards and centers together. A lot of times you'll see some of that versatility where you can move a guard in to play a center position and vice versa. You can move a center to play out in guard. You'll see that a lot in Green Bay, and you probably see it a lot on other teams as well, right? So,
yeah. Before we get started, I have a guessing draw right here of the schools I think they're going to be at.
He does. Yep. So Bryson's going to kind of take a guess at what school we're going to look at as far
I
as
have
players.
no idea.
He doesn't. So he's going to go ahead and pull one out and see if we have that a player from that school on our board at this center guard kind of hybrid position for us here.
All right. See, first one. Grab this one. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I do not have one for Notre Dame on my list here. So I will pull this guy here first from Cincinnati, Luke Kondra. I'll let you run through his season stats here. And he played primarily at guard at the collegiate level. But as we mentioned kind of in the preview of the show, somebody who played at guard certainly has the potential to play at center in the next level as well. And having that versatility only makes the team better. So with, kind of digressing a little bit here, Bryson, I'll let you go ahead and dig into his stats for the 2024 season.
Yeah. Overall grade, 76.7. Games played, 12. Offensive snaps, 803. One block snaps, 356. Pass block snaps, 447. Sacks, 0. Hits, 1. And hurries, 7.
Yeah, so he didn't give up a sack at his position this year, which is fantastic. It's what you want out of your offensive lineman. He did grade out at 76.1, so slightly down from the previous season, where he did grade out an 81.5. So pretty good season at guard for Luke. Now, where was he at as far as run blocking versus pass blocking grade? Well, his run blocking grade was 74.3, so right in that kind of borderline average for me. And then his pass blocking grade was above average, 84.1. So he would be a perfect candidate to play either guard or center at the next level. And taking a look at his size, so he's 6'4", 323. He's a big guy, right? So talk about having versatility on the offensive line. Could he play other positions if one guy were to go down, kind of shuffle the deck a little bit? With his size, you could certainly move him from center to guard, even out to tackle, right? He's got the body size to do it, and he's had a pretty good collegiate career. As we mentioned, his production in the box score area was slightly down this season from an 81 to a 76. But overall, he's had a pretty good career, and he's a big body that you'd be able to move up or down the line.
Yep.
So, with that, Bryson, I'll let you take your next guess here for us.
Okay, let's get into the guessing jar. It will be Texas Longhorns.
The Texas Longhorns. Let's see if we got a big body up front on the board here. I don't believe we do. So what I will do, I'll go to the next guy here I got on the big board for us, and he's from North Carolina, Willie Lampkin. And this guy, again, before we get into his stats here, Bryson, primarily played guard at the collegiate level. So, kind of digress again. I'll let you knock out his stats for this previous season here, Bryson.
Yeah, overall grade 85.6, games played 12, offensive snaps 851, one block snaps 378, pass block snaps 473, sacks 0, hits 4, and hurries 4.
Yeah, so he didn't give up a sack this year. He did allow 4 hits on the quarterback and 4 hurries on the quarterback. But he graded out well this year. 85.6 at his position. So you saw that progression from 2023 to 2024. And his run blocking grade, where did he grade out on that, right? So fantastic, 87.6. And then also his pass blocking grade was an 88.8. So across the board, this guy had a fantastic season for North Carolina. He's certainly going to be able to make that transition to the next level into the NFL. And let's take a look at his size here. So he's 5'11", 290. So he's a little bit on the shorter end. So you're probably not going to have that versatility to move him out to a tackle position if needed. But he certainly fits within that guard center range. Probably more of a center size in the NFL, standing at 5'11". But again, he had a fantastic season, both pass and run. I just see him kind of shifting or trending more towards the center position in the NFL. So for the Packers specifically, he would make a ton of sense because, you know, likelihood is we're going to move on from Josh Myers, who just hasn't been great the last couple of years. So, yeah. Bryson, next guy on the list for us.
Okay, let's see. Pull out the guessing jar. Let me get a guy. Iowa Hawkeyes.
We do have an Iowa Hawkeye here on the list.
Yes.
We do. And I was going to save him towards the end here, but we'll cover him.
I know who it is. Connor Colby.
Connor Colby. You got it. So he was a guy that, is kind of my hidden gem in this year's draft. He's a guy that you're probably not looking at the first or second round, so you can kind of snatch him up in some of the later rounds. But I just love his play, right? And we're both Hawkeye fans. We're from just north of Iowa City a little bit. But Connor Colby's a fantastic offensive lineman. The University of Iowa tends to kind of produce or kind of put out those offensive linemen into the NFL. You see that quite often, right? So where did he finish this season, Bryson? I'll let you run through his stats a little bit. And again, Connor played primarily guard for the Hawkeyes at the collegiate level, but he certainly has that versatility to move up or down the line, whether you needed him to play at tackle or you need to shift him to center or keep him at guard, right? So I'll let you cover down his stats for this past season here, Bryson.
Overall grade 77.1, games played 13, offensive snaps 743, one block snaps 427.
Yep.
Pass block snaps 316, sacks 2, hits 2, hurries 6.
Yeah, so he did allow 2 sacks on the season, 2 quarterback kicks, and 6 hurries. So he did play 13 games, so he had a longer season. Still pretty decent numbers. And again, he's not a guy you're looking at it for a first or second round pick. Probably more of a third or fourth round pick with this guy. His run blocking grade, right average, maybe slightly above average at 77.3 this previous season. And where he really needs to see his improvement is his pass blocking, right? So he graded out as 66.9, which is, to me, that's a little bit slightly below average. So he'd like to see that improve at the next level. And he's probably not a guy that you have to, kind of plug and play at starter right away. But he's certainly a guy, he's got great body size too. And we'll take a look at that. So he's 6'6", 310 pounds. So a guy that you could play up or down the line, ranging from center to tackle. So he gives you that versatility. It's got a lot of upside to him as well. So he's a big body, great run blocker, needs to improve on his pass blocking a little bit, but he's kind of my hidden gem in this draft at this position, simply because of the fact he's got a lot of upside, and he gives you that versatility to move him up or down the line, given the injuries throughout the season. And he's a great run blocker, right? So as I mentioned, needs to improve his pass blocking, but he's got time to develop that. So that's why I kind of chose him as my hidden gem at this position this season.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead with your next one here, Bryson.
Okay. Reach into my jaw. We got Ohio State.
Ohio State. Let's see if I got a Buckeye here. I do not have a Buckeye here. So I will go ahead and knock out the next one here. This guy is from Alabama, played primarily guard for the Crimson Tide, Tyler Booker. I'll let you run through his stats here real quick, Bryson.
Yeah, overall grade 66.5, games played 13, offensive snaps 778, one block snaps 383, pass block snaps 395, sacks 0, hits 347.
Yeah, so he didn't give up any sacks on the season, did allow 3 quarterback hits and 7 pressures on the quarterback, right? So again, he graded out slightly below average on the season, so he's down a little bit from where he was in 23. His run blocking grade's not the greatest, 63.9. Where he really excels is his pass blocking, right? So he graded out an 86.5 on his pass blocking, and he's from Alabama, right? So those Alabama players, you're getting top tier players with those guys. So what's his size? So he's 6'5", 325. Again, that size that gives you the versatility to move him up and down the line when needed. So that's important. And he's also a guy that you're not going to have to worry about taking in the first or second round. He's probably a third or fourth round guy, but he's certainly a great player. He's a great player at Alabama. He's got some area to improve on his run blocking, but he's gonna, given time to develop, I think he'll be a great player in the next level.
Yeah.
So who's your next guy here on the board, Bryson?
All right. Let's see.
I'll tell you, the last two are from the same school.
Is it TCU?
It is not TCU. No.
I have one more guess at you. Is it Stanford?
It is not Stanford either. It is one of those southern schools right above Florida.
Is it Georgia?
It is Georgia. So I'll share out the first one here. Tate Ratledge. So he primarily played guard at Georgia. So I'll let you run through his season stats here real quick for us, Bryson.
Okay. Overall grade 74.4. Games played 10. Offensive snaps 500. One block snaps 189. Pass block snaps 211. Sacks 1, hits 2, and holes 4.
Yeah, so pretty solid season for him. He graded out right above average, or right about average at 74.4. Only allowed 1 sack, 2 hits on quarterback, and 4 quarterback hurries. So where did he grade out this year? His run blocking grade was a 74.4, so right on average there. And his pass blocking grade, 77.3, so slightly above average there. So pretty solid season at guard playing for Georgia. And let's take a look at his size here. So he's 6'6", 320, right? So again, another one of those big-bodied guys that has the ability to move up or down the line. And he should find success at the next level. He's pretty consistent between his run and pass blocking. And he's got the size to, potentially play from tackle to center as well. So that was our first Georgia guy, Bryson. Could you want to guess on the next school?
Georgia.
You're gonna guess Georgia. I think you might be right here. So let's go ahead and pull up our last guy here, Jared Wilson out of Georgia. Now this is going to be our first and only true center out of this draft. So he did play center for Georgia this past season. So I'll let you run through his stats here real quick.
Yeah, overall grade 79.6. Games played 12. Offensive snaps 810. 1 block snaps, 299. Pass block snaps, 511. Sacks, 0. Hits, 1. And Huey's 5.
Yeah. So fantastic season. Above average on the year at 79.6. Didn't allow a single sack on the season. 1 quarterback hit and only 5 hurries on the season. So had a fantastic season overall. Now, his run blocking grade was right about average at 76 on the season. And his pass blocking grades where he really excelled this year. So an 84.9 to finish off the season there. And he's 6'3", 310. So a little bit undersized probably to shift him out the tackle, but certainly has that ability if you would need him to. He's not, that 5'11", 6 foot height where it'd be tough to move him out to one of the tackles if you needed to. So you could certainly do that. But I think he's really going to excel at the next level, either at center or guard. He's got a lot of experience at center at the collegiate level with Georgia. And as I mentioned, Green Bay's going to need to be in the market for a center this year. It appears to be that Josh Myers is probably out the door, so it'd make a ton of sense to go out and grab a guy like him. But whatever team does get him is going to get a pretty solid player, right? So he excelled in his pass blocking, and he's slightly above average in his run blocking. So fantastic career with Georgia. Going to be a heck of a player in the NFL as well. So that's what we have here today for our kind of interior offensive lineman, I'll call it. It's more of a hybrid guard center position. As I mentioned, we'll cover a lot of these other positions as well, offensively and defensively, kind of make our way through this draft class before the draft in April here, Bryson.
And as always,
Let's go Pack Go.